Welcome to Bushcrafting on the Patio. We are going to talk about making feather sticks. Now, you may have noticed a couple of things. Number one, I'm wearing glasses. Do I look smarter than I normally do? Let me know. Second is that I'm not actually on my patio. Between the sun shining where I didn't really want it to shine, and the birds singing, and the neighbor playing drum solos, which you probably can still hear, it kind of looked and sounded like I was recording on a potato. An even worse potato than it normally looks like I am recording with. So we're back in here. This is a feather stick. Now, why would we want to do this? This is to help start fires. Making this bunch of shavings, these curls, helps to catch a flame. It ignites more easily. It can expose drier wood on the inside if you're working with some damp sticks or something. It's just as a fire starter. But it's also a fun exercise with your knife. You don't need an excellent knife to make a feather stick. It doesn't even have to be all that sharp. Now, the sharpness of the knife and the shape of the blade can certainly make it a lot easier to make shavings with that knife, and you can get a lot better shavings with different shapes of knives and types of edges, but you can use almost any sharp edge to make some sort of feather stick. Different types of wood also work better than others. Now, I don't know where you are, so you're going to have different wood in the forests around you or the places that you go camping or hiking. So you're going to need to get some sticks or some wood from the places that you are going, and that's what you should be practicing with. To make our feather sticks, we're going to need a knife. I'm going to use this Mora knife. If you don't have one of those, you can use any knife. You can just use your pocket knife, your EDC knife, and we'll get to some other things you can use as well. Pretty much any knife will work. Then we're going to select our piece of wood. Now, what works best for making shavings and a feather stick is something relatively small, so you'll want to split your wood down, something thumb-sized roughly, and you'll want a piece of wood with some edges. If you're using a round stick, then what you'll want to do is cut the bark away and get yourself a flat spot on the stick. You can see I did with this one, and that's where you'll want to start. I prefer keeping the knife stationary and moving the piece of wood. I think that it's a little safer because the knife blade isn't moving, and I do this a lot when I'm sitting out back while the kids are playing in the yard. So you're just going to get a really firm grip on your knife. If I'm sitting in a chair, I'll brace it on my knee. If working somewhere else, you just want to brace that hand on something. And then you're going to take your piece of wood and you're going to place it flat against the underside of the blade. And then what you're going to do, without moving the knife, is you're going to sort of tilt the piece of wood till the edge of the wood catches the edge of the knife, and you're just going to pull back and cut that shaving, starting at the base of the blade close to the handle, and as I'm cutting, I'm moving towards the tip of the blade. After I get a couple of shavings, that corner of the wood has been cut flat, so I'm just going to turn the piece of wood a little bit to get one of these new corners that I've made. So I'm just going to turn slightly, get my next shaving, turn a little bit, get my next. It takes a little bit to get the hang of it, but once you do, it's really easy to do this with pretty much any blade because the wood is what's changing and the blade stays still. So it's really easy to adapt to any blade shape and also any size of blade. We can use an axe the exact same way. If we get the head of the axe and we hold on to the head and then we brace the axe so that the axe isn't going to move, then we can just draw our piece of wood along the edge of the axe. It helps if your axe is a little sharper, but even if it's not shaving sharp, you should be able to get some sort of shavings just using the edge of your axe like that. And that is how you make feather sticks with any knife. You don't move the knife, you move the stick. It's safer because you don't have the knife blade moving, less chance of slipping, the knife going someplace you don't want it to go, and it's easier to get the edge catching exactly where you want when you're using some unconventional edges like an axe or a tomahawk or a box cutter or something like that. And you can do this in your backyard, sitting on your patio, sitting out on the porch. Just get some sticks, get your pocket knife, get your kitchen knife, whatever knife you want to use, and start making some shavings. I will put a couple pictures of some different knives and feather sticks that I've made with them on Instagram. I'll put a link to my Instagram in the description of this video. If you try this out, get some feather sticks going, let me know. I appreciate you all, and I will see you next time.